Would I need to put them on first?
No, not until we go first.
Okay.
Okay, guys, good to go. Vinny, do you want to start with the first three, please?
Well, hi Andy.
Vinny, how are we?
I'm good, thanks mate. You?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Good. The boss said no opportunity without pressure last week, so how do you feel about the opportunity you've given yourselves to finish top four now? And given the history of big nights, big comebacks at Anfield, how do you feel about the opportunity you have to progress tomorrow night?
Yeah, look, we're still in the competition. Maybe not many give us hope, but we believe we can put in a better performance than last week, and that's the only way that gives us a fighting chance. We need to be better at everything we do. Tomorrow night we need to put pressure on an unbelievable experienced team, and try and make it uncomfortable for them, and if we can do that, and if the chances can fall to us and we can take them, then let's see where it takes us. It needs to be a close to perfect game. We've done it in the past, but we can't rely on that. We need to try and create our own atmosphere tomorrow night. Of course, we've not got our fans in there with us, and it's up to us to create our own atmosphere and create a Champions League night at Anfield without the fans.
Yeah, I was going to say, with no fans, I mean, you look at that game against Barcelona a couple of years ago, how do you replicate a kind of Barcelona night when you haven't got that kind of atmosphere to play in front of?
Yeah, look, the Barcelona game, look, I don't think it's any secret, and I think the manager said it before, that that wouldn't be possible without the fans. The fans made us feel 10 feet tall. They made us believe even more so. In that changing room before that game, we believed we could overturn it, but walking out to 55,000 other people that believed, it just gave you that extra 5-10%, which makes a huge difference. But tomorrow we need to create that ourselves. Of course, look, our fans are watching at home and they'll be kicking every ball with us, but we need to try and create that atmosphere in the changing room before we go out and on the pitch. And like I said, we need to be better at everything we do, in terms of what we did last week. So that's got to be the aim. We've got to have no regrets, and at least if we can walk off that pitch given our absolute all, then we can know that we've left nothing on there, and that's the key. If we get there, then amazing, and if we don't, then at least we can keep our heads held high. But our aim is to make it as difficult as we can and try and get through to the semi-final, because we know what's at stake. We know how good this competition is, and we want to be a part of it as long as we can be.
And we all saw your reaction to Trent's win at the weekend. I wondered if that was as much for Trent as it was for the importance of that goal as well, because what have you made of the spotlight he's been under recently, and how do you guys, and you especially, kind of help him through that? And then obviously you take great satisfaction when he bounces back like that. Yeah,
look, to be honest, I'd love to say the reaction was for Trent, but I couldn't care less who had scored it. I just wanted the 3 points. At the weekend, we know it's getting to the point of the season where drop points is it just hurts you that bit more in terms of the league positions and things like that. So it was just a huge goal for us. But look, for me, it's a sign of a world-class player. When world-class players don't perform to the levels that maybe they have done, then people criticise them more. People criticise them more than maybe your normal player or your ordinary player. So for me, I know it's hard for Trent, but he should take it as some sort of compliment. And the fact that so much noise has been made about him. But look, for me and for the teammates and for somebody that's close to him and cares about him, it's just about trying to keep his confidence at the highest level, because when it's like that, then nobody touches him. And I thought on Saturday he put in a very good performance. I thought against Arsenal he was excellent. Of course, he struggled against Madrid in midweek, but we all did. Not one of us played well, but more gets said about Trent's performance than anyone else's. So look, for me, he's a strong character. He's always been that since he's been a young age, and that's why he is where he is. That's why he's at the top of the game at a very early age, and he'll come over all the criticism But look, it's just about trying to not let it affect him and try and do what he does on the pitch, because when he does that, then I don't think anyone can touch him.
Okay, we'll go to
Thanks,
Ian.
Anfield, the best.
Thanks.
Cheers, Vinny. We're going to go to Ian next, and then James from TalkSport. So Ian, do you want the next one?
Hi Andy, just in the context of this game now, how important was that win at the weekend against Aston Villa? It was important from a league point of view, but the fact that it was at Anfield, and this game that you have to turn around is also obviously at Anfield, in the context of the run that you've had at home.
Yeah, look, our run at home has not been good enough since Boxing Day. In terms of the points that we've dropped, the defeats that we've came to, it's simply not been good enough. And to then get our first win of the new year there, it always makes a difference. And it, then when you walk on that pitch tomorrow, you've got good feelings instead of negative ones, which have maybe been the case the last couple of weeks with the performances and the results we've had here. But we'll go into tomorrow full of confidence. We've got nothing to lose. Of course, Real Madrid are hot favourites, and so they should be with the aggregate they've got. But it's up to us to leave everything on the pitch, give a better performance than we did last week, and give ourselves the best possible chance to progress, because we don't want to give up on our chances of getting through, and we won't do that until the last whistle's been blown. And but we know how hard a task it's going to be, and we know we probably need as close to perfect performance as we can.
Okay, James from TalkSport, if we go next, please. Oh, James, your audio's not coming through, I don't think. We'll try again.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There we go, yeah.
Perfect, sorry. Andy, we know that a 2-0 victory would suffice tomorrow night. How does the state of the tie affect the way you approach the game, or do you almost need to approach it like it's 0-0, try and go for the win, and then use a bit of game management if you reach the latter stage of the game and you still have the opportunity of qualifying?
Yeah, look, I think it's important that we just go into the game as a normal game. Look, we go into every game looking to win. So like you said, we need to play our own game, play a normal game, put them under pressure, and try and win the game. That's always our aim, whether it's an aggregate two-legged or whether it's just a league game. That's being at Liverpool, you've got pressure to win every game. So no, that'll be the aim. We'll go into the game trying to cause them problems, trying to take chances when they fault us, and like you said, if we do that, and in the later stages, let's see where we're at. But hopefully we're in the lead and we know exactly what we have to do, because it's important to try and keep a clean sheet as well. We need to be defensively on the highest mark as well, and as well as going forward. So like when the chances fault us, we need to try and take them, and we need to try and keep their chances to a bare minimum, and we need to have an all-round top performance, and that's what we'll be working towards over the next 24 hours, and trying to get us in the best possible shape to do that. And like I said, fingers crossed that will be enough on the night. But we know we're playing against a European giant, a giant that's so good at this competition, and they'll obviously have their own game plan, but we need to make it as difficult as we can for them.
Okay, Carl, do you want to go next, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Andy.
Hi, mate.
Just wondering, what was the overriding emotion coming off the field last week against Madrid, and what motivation can you use that for going into tomorrow?
Look, it was one of disappointment. Of course it was. I don't think anyone hid away from that in terms of post-match interviews and things like that. The performance wasn't on the level that it should be. We gave away 3 cheap goals that probably could have been avoided, and look, we got an away goal, which is probably the only bonus of that night. Obviously getting that goal with Mo was big, and it made it 2-1, which wouldn't have been the worst. But then we go and concede another poor goal from our point of view up the other end. So look, we've gave it was disappointment walking off the pitch, but we've gave ourselves a chance. We're still in the tie, we're still in the competition, and it's up to us to try and use that to try and stay in the competition. It's going to be tough. Like I said, people have maybe written us off. People will think Real Madrid will go through, and it's up to us to try and change that, and try and be as positive as we can be, and put in a performance that can cause them problems. And we need it, like I said, as close to perfect performance as we can, and if we do that, then I believe it gives us a chance.
Okay, we'll just take the last 4 questions here. So Juliet, do you want the first one, please?
Hi Andy, I was just thinking, I was at Manchester City when Real Madrid came in after restart and played that game, and you talk about creating the atmosphere. I was just wondering a thought, as long as it's safe, everybody who was involved that night off the pitch was like behind the home dugout, and it created so much noise. And is that the kind of noise that you would need to try and progress through to beat Real Madrid, and would that help?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure if it will help, but if it helped Man City, then, you know, I remember watching that game actually, and obviously they got through pretty comfortably. So, but look, it's up to us to create our own atmosphere. You know, on the pitch, we need to be able to be, you know, as high intensity, as high as everything that we can be. It's the quarter-final of the Champions League. There's nobody more than me that would love 55,000 Liverpool fans in that stadium tomorrow night, but it's not possible. But you know, it shouldn't take much for us to get up for a quarter-final of a Champions League, and it won't. You know, the lads are motivated, the lads are determined to try and progress, and but you know, you obviously come up against a very good team, and you come up against a really experienced team that have been there and done it before, and they're obviously as determined as us as well. But it's up to us to try and put in a better performance than last week, and prove that, you know, we're a good team, and that we can cause them problems. And if we do that, then I believe we can win the game. And whether it's enough, then it's enough. But look, if everyone in the stadium wants to gather behind the dugout, then, you know, be my guest. And if it creates a better atmosphere, then you know, so be it.
Okay, guys, the final 3 here will go Chris, Dom, and then Diego. So Chris, do you want the first one, please?
Hi Andy. Just if you take your mind back, what would you say was more daunting, having to try and beat Barca 4-0 with a full crowd, or Real 2-0 with no crowd? Or are they both equal in their own way?
Look, they're both as hard as, you know, they're both different, but, you know, the same in their own way. You know, Barcelona that night, you know, was obviously an incredible night, and it wouldn't have been possible without the 55,000 fans in there. That's a fact. You know, the way, you know, the noise they made at the start, the noise they made when we scored the first, and it just carried on, and it got louder and louder as the night went on. And unfortunately, tomorrow night we won't have that. But, you know, we're coming up against the team that's the most experienced in this tournament. You know, won it the most times in the short history and the long history. They're a fantastic team, full of quality, and it's you know, it's a big task for us. It's not the same as the Barcelona game, and you know, we can't rely the fact that, you know, we came back from that game that we're going to come back from this one. It's a huge task in front of us, but you know, we believe that we can win the game. We believe we can win any game, and like I said, if we do that, it gives us a fighting chance, and let's see if it is enough on the night, and you know, fingers crossed that it will be. But that's got to be our aim. We've got to aim to win the game first and foremost, and once we do that, then you know, let's see what the aggregate score is, and let's see what we need to do. But our determination is to take our chances, to keep a clean sheet, and hopefully make it as uncomfortable a night for them as possible.
Okay, Dom.
Andy, incentives are a big thing in football. Just looking at it, obviously you want to stay in this competition for as long as you possibly can, but there's also the possibility that you might not be in it next season, so there's a sort of extra incentive for you to try and stay in this one for as long as you can and go all the way. Is that something that's in your mind?
To be honest, no. For us, there's a chance to win, you know, the biggest trophy in European football, and you know, that's all we're going for. We're a team, we're a squad, we're everything connected to this club just now is a team that, you know, luckily we've had a bit of success in the last couple of years, and we want to continue that. We want to not just rest on winning the trophies that we've already won. We want to win more, and that's our motivation. That's our determination. You know, the top 4 race and everything like that will take care of itself. You know, we need to, you know, keep going in the league and keep trying to pick up points, and hopefully the teams above us drop points. That's of course, you know, we need to do that. But for us, it's you know, tomorrow night's just all about progressing to the semi-final, because we've never looked too far ahead. We're still a long way off the final, and even that becoming a possibility. So all I'm worried about is trying to get into the semi-final of a Champions League, because I know how special they can be, and you know, we want to be a part of this tournament. We want to try and, you know, get through to the next round, and that's all our determination. But like I said previously, you know, unfortunately we're coming up against one of the most experienced teams at it, and their determination's the exact same. So we need to be at our best, and we need to hope that we can take any chances given to us tomorrow night.
Okay, you'll need the headphones for this, Andy. Diego, do you want to do the last question, please? Do you want it in Spanish? Diego, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Buenas tardes, Andy. Diego Plaza del Chiringuito. Sufristeis mucho en el partido de ida y tanto Klopp como tú insistís hoy en mantener la portería a cero. ¿Qué jugador del Real Madrid te preocupa más? ¿La técnica o la movilidad de Benzema, la velocidad de Vinicius o la calidad de Asensio?
Yeah, look, in terms of the players going forward for Real Madrid, they're so high quality. They showed their quality last week. You know, the wingers were both played very well. Benzema showed his quality for a number of years now, and one of the best strikers in the world. So it's about trying to, like the manager said, and like I've said previously, it's about, you know, trying to keep them out and trying to keep a clean sheet, because we know how important that can be for the tie, because we would need to score 2 goals. Of course, the more goals they score, the more goals we need to score. So look, they showed how good they are going forward, but I don't think we showed how good we can be defensively that night, and we need to be better at you know, getting the ball back, not giving the midfielders time on the ball, and being able to get their head up and pick passes, and, you know, trying to help out defensively all over the park. And if we do that, then I believe we can make it more difficult for them. Of course, they're still world class players that can make something happen, but it's up to us to try and, you know, do everything we can to not allow that to happen. And if we do that, then I believe we can have a good game. But it's going to be an incredibly tough task, but I believe it's one that we can do, and it's one that we're going to have to do if we want to progress. And that's the aim from us, and that will be the aim tomorrow night. And now we need to go out and do it, and try and do it to the best of our ability.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for that. Thank you for attending. Just a reminder, Real Madrid's press conference is due to start at 6:15 this evening. Thank you.
Tammy. Thank you.
Thanks very much, mate.
Thank you. Is that me, yeah?
Yeah, all done. Is that any better?